Recording.
Hello, everybody. It's 7:05 p.m. This is the official meeting of the Ohio State Jural Assembly. We had just had an emergency vote. Christina was nominated herself, and I seconded it, and we voted to accept her as emergency scribe for tonight. So Christina will be our scribe tonight. So Stephen, with your microphone working so well, can you open us up in his name?
Sure will. Father, in the name of Yeshua, Father, we just thank you for tonight. We thank you for us being able to gather together, Father. We just pray that, Father God, that it's a fruitful time. You lead us and guide us into all righteousness to establish righteousness, not just within ourselves, but within the state of Ohio and this nation as well, Father. We just thank you. Have your way in Yeshua's name. Amen.
Oh, all right, we're going to have 15 seconds of silence. This is for reflection. That begins now. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to open up the Bivens here, if I can find it in my folder. There it is, settlement Bivens. All right, let's share my screen. So we are going to follow Robert's rules of order tonight. So the Robert's rules have been around for well over 100 years, and they're still working today. Let's just get it a little bit more in focus. All right. This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner to eliminate all conflict and false allegations. Is there anyone in attendance at today's meeting who is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency of the federal, state, county, city, or government agencies, or any other organization that might seek to preserve itself by undermining the efforts of OSJA or any of its members? Is there any response to the Bivens Declaration for the first time? This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner to eliminate all conflict and false allegations. Is there anyone in attendance at today's meeting who is a member or agent of any law enforcement or public agency of the federal, state, county, city, or government agencies, or any other organization that might seek to preserve itself by undermining the efforts of OSJA or any of its members? Is there any response to the Bivens Declaration for the second time? This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner to eliminate all conflict and false allegations. Is there anyone in attendance at today's meeting who's a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency of the federal, state, county, city, or government agencies, or any other organization that might seek to preserve itself by undermining the efforts of OSJA or any of its members? Is there any response to the Bivens Declaration for the third and final time? Welcome, Dave. We're gonna
Welcome,
go with
Brian.
a roll call real quick. And I see, I'll start with Ryan. Ryan, you're on the line. Go ahead with your county.
Ryan from Franklin County.
I am Ross from Summit County. Dave Roberts.
State.
Michael.
Adams County.
Stephen.
Vinton County.
Christina.
Summit County.
Joe.
Tillman.
All right. So Christina, I just want to be sure we're not going too quick for you. We've got 6 members in attendance. Dave Roberts in attendance.
7 members in attendance.
7. Oh, did I call Stephen? And was Trina in there too?
Trina's walking out the door.
Okay, so it's just Stephen? Okay,
Yeah.
got it. All right, very good. Let's take a look at the agenda to make sure I didn't miss anything before we get into old business. Right, we're gonna make motions and vote on all items, and we've done roll call. So I motion to open old business. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Michael. Old business, we have minutes to read. Christina, if I bring those up, are you able to read them?
Sure.
All right, so we're gonna vote on these minutes as read. And so Christina is going to read the minutes on the screen from March 5th. Christina, the floor is yours.
These are the minutes from the Ohio State Jural Assembly official weekly business meeting on Tuesday, March 5th, 2024, as documented by myself as emergency scribe. At 7:06 p.m., Ross started the recording. He called for an emergency vote for scribe for tonight's meeting. Ross nominated me. I accepted. All in attendance vote unanimously in favor. At 7:06 p.m., Ross opens the meeting explaining the purpose of OSJAs to meet and discuss and vote on all pertinent matters. Kat opened the meeting in prayer. Ross called for 15 seconds of silence for reflection. Ross read the Bivens call for declaration of conflicting allegiances 3 times, no response. Ross reminded all that according to OSJA bylaws, we follow Robert's Rules of Order for parliamentary procedure in our meetings. Roll call was conducted by Ross. There were 6 in attendance. Ross and Christina from Summit, Dave from State, Kat from Lorraine, Michael from Adams, and Joe from Summit. Kat motioned to open old business. Michael and Joe seconded. Christina reads the minutes from February 27, 2024. Vote to accept minutes as read. Abstain 1, nay 0, yay 4. The minutes are accepted as read. Michael had no treasury update. Public affairs update. I stated that I was still waiting on graphics to post the no trespass t-shirt on the website. That would be Dave's t-shirt. Other updates according to Telegram One People's chat. The website now has a fully functional searchable library containing all the documents Michael and others had previously requested on the site. Our Preble County Committee of Safety moderator, Troy, passed away last week. We should have a few people plan on attending. Dave Roberts discussed the Maricopa County viral video of Mickey Klein. There are a number of vital differences in the way she presented herself versus the way OSJA understands common law differ from de facto presentation. There was a lengthy discussion on including the website connected to Mickey Klein. The web address is thepeoplesoperationrestoration.com. Bonds for the Win and others are included in the conversation. Please see recording. Ross resumes the discussion on clarifying the bylaws position on elimination of controversy and a more formal code of honor. Discussion on multiple topics from the Reynoldsburg Multi-County Committee of Safety meeting. Please see recording. Kat motion to close old business. Christina seconded. Christina motion to open new business. Kat and Joe seconded. Troy Maxwell funeral travel discussion took place. Like-minded operations we can partner with. Oh, wow, I need to really reword that. We talked about like-minded groups that we can partner with, and there were several homework investigations discussed. Michael and Kat motion to close new business. Kat and Joe seconded. Ross motion to adjourn. I seconded. 8:01 p.m. Ross adjourned the meeting. Next meeting is set for Tuesday, March 12th, 2024 at 7 p.m. I yield.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Christina. The floor is open for any discussions about these minutes as read. If there's any edits or amendments to them, and now is the time to speak up, or we'll just vote to accept as read. All right. Silence appears to be consent.
May I?
Go ahead, Christina.
Just wanted to clarify for everyone that I'm going to reword for clarity that one sentence in new business. Apparently I was typing while I was talking last time, and that didn't really make sense the way I read it. So I'll fix that.
Thank you. So all those who want to abstain from the vote, say abstain, raise your hand, or type abstain in the chat.
Abstained.
Okay, it's one. And We have one in the chat. That's 2 so far. Any nays, say nay. Type nay in the chat or raise your hand. And yays, say yay, raise your hand or type yay in the chat.
Yay.
Goes EA.
Ross is a yay.
Okay, so that's 4 yays.
Okay, Christina's a yay. And so we are accepting the minutes as read. And on to other old business. So it's going to be to the Treasury. We'll get Michael. The floor is yours. If Treasury.
All right. Yeah, there were no updates on the or no changes on the Treasury. If anyone needs to, if anyone spends any money on anything, or sends money to Ross or somebody else that has put money into a project, just email me and let me know at realfooddude@protonmail.com and put treasury in the subject line, or treasurer in the subject line. If you put OSJA in there, that would be helpful too. OSJA treasurer. I yield.
Thanks, Michael. Christina, for the public affairs report,
So-
do you have anything for us?
Yeah, there was a meeting in Lorain County last night that I would like to yield to Dave Roberts to discuss since he was there in person presenting.
Yeah, I was the real McCoy. Oh, by the way, Mandy recorded the event and she put it up in the in her Telegram channel. I moved it into, Instagram channel. I moved it into Telegram. It's in all my rooms. I put it in the Assembly's chat, and I also put it in Freedom Fighters and a bunch of other rooms. So if you guys want to watch it, the reason I put it on all these other rooms is because this septic system debacle is going on all across the state, and I'm trying to draw interest of people in other counties to get in touch with me and have me go down, and hopefully we're going to create assemblies in those counties. So but anyhow, we had about 30 people in attendance, roughly. And we got 25 affidavits signed and notarized, ready to go to the county commissioners and the health board. And since the meeting, it looks like we're going to have maybe close to 30 more additional affidavits of people that didn't attend the event but wants to do the affidavits. So this is a good move, a good push. One guy was asking about, target on his back, and I go, you're looking at this from the wrong perspective, because when we bring forth our claim for, in fact, law and evidence, they're going to be running, and they're not going to be trying to retaliate, because there's going to be too many of you. I said, so the object is to force them into resigning. And then the next question was, well, what are we going to do if they resign? I said, the committee of safety will go to the board of directors, our board of electors, and explain to them that we will be filling those positions temporarily until because we are the de jure members of the government, and we'll be filling those seats with de jure members. And they go, well, who's that? And I said, it can be anybody that wants that position. And they go, well, I don't want that position. Well, nobody's asking you to fill that position. It's voluntary. I said, but you guys gotta understand that when you fill that position, it's $125,000 salary. And I go, it's no chump change. I mean, you're going to get paid well to take that position. So, and they go, well, I'm not qualified. I said, do you believe in honesty and in truth, in fact? And they go, yeah. And I said, then you're qualified. I said, the first thing you should do is abolish the corporation. Ask for the the law director to provide you with the corporate charter of the county. And then you tell him to file the paperwork to abolish the charter with the Secretary of State. So that'll be a shot heard around the world when you do that. That you're going to be a government of the Republic, for the Republic, of the Republic. And you're no longer going to be operating under a corporate charter with a false, fake enemies of the country. That's going to be revolutionary right there.
Nice.
Indeed, Dave. And you know, if you have more to say, but by all means, say stuff. I just want to pause. Does anybody have any questions for Dave right now as he threw out a couple of things here?
Once you stated the salary there, did you get any more positive feedback on, well, maybe I could do that?
No, everybody stop asking questions.
Well, I would.
May I?
Well, yeah, go ahead, Christina.
I wanted to ask if the last meeting that you had like this, there were people that papered up. Did you have anyone sign papers for the assembly?
I don't believe anybody papered up on this round.
Okay.
But I don't remember us pushing it either. So I mean, we were in a time crunch because we had roughly an hour and a half. My normal presentation is roughly an hour and a half. And we had to get them to fill out the affidavits and get them notarized and make photocopies. And they took the originals and we kept the photos. And, you know, I mean, it was a zoo last night because, and then Debbie brought up today, she goes, well, should we send copies to the county commissioners? And I go, okay. So now add that dimension to what we were trying to do last night. And she goes, well, that's pretty intense. I go, that's right. We're just going to send it to the health department. Well, how's the county commissioners going to get theirs? And I go, oh, I assure you, they're going to get a copy because their name, individual names on the affidavit. I said, they will get their copy. There's no shadow of a doubt.
May I?
Go ahead, Christina.
Kat has joined the meeting.
All right. Welcome, Kat. Can you state your county?
I was muted.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm driving. Lorraine.
Fantastic. And so Lorain County is what's on the floor right now. Dave had the meeting last night. Did you have a chance to attend that meeting, Kat?
I did.
So give us your take on the meeting because it's really fresh in our minds. The floor is yours.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it went extremely well. I'm sure that Dave and Mandy were exhausted from their trip. So thank you, you guys, because you still did it anyway. Kudos, you pulled it off.
Thank you.
We had a small turnout. I think if we would have had a public venue, it might have turned out better. I'm not sure of that. My thought would be, let's try the Elyria Mall or a different mall or a public setting maybe for one of these meetings, and maybe that would be the catalyst to get it to really kick off well. So just a thought.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Bring your own chair and set up in the auditorium. All I need is power to the speaker and the projector.
Right.
I'm going to get on Amazon tomorrow and see about a screen, you know, a 10 by 16 or something screen that with a frame that folds down and folds into a little bag. Let's see if they got such an animal and, you know, and go from there.
So Dave, this is on topic because, you know, what you're doing here, you said this is going to happen in other counties. And I want everybody on this call.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
Like Monroe County, they've already implemented it and people already paid their money. I talked briefly to woman that was at Reynoldsburg that was representing Monroe. And I told her I wanted to talk to her, but we never connected up yet. So
as I say, when among ourselves, if we are in a conversation with somebody and we aren't sure what county they're from, we know it's not Lorraine, ask them about their, hey, have you seen any increases in your sewer bill? And see if you can,
no, just ask
get-
them if they
get a
know
spark
are
going.
aware that the health department is charging an additional fee for septic tanks inspection. And I found out last night that one of the reasons that they're doing this is that they did a major renovation to their building, the county commissioners did, and they didn't have any funds to pay for the renovations. So voila, let's do the septic system and generate $2.6 million to pay for the renovations. Oh, and of course, 30% of that goes into our pocket. So
it wasn't their money to begin with.
no, it wasn't their money to
And-
begin with. And who gave them the right to make a modification without the approval of the people?
Dave, you've really identified some lightning here. And as it starts striking, as we start trying to ride this lightning, capture this lightning to grow the assembly, to right the wrong, to demonstrate remedy through common law, as we do all of this, you had this meeting last night. And it was a zoo, right? But tell me this, Dave, really, were there enough people on hand to process those 30? And if there were more, would you have been like really crunched? And do you need more people to run these things is my specific question.
Yeah, it would have been helpful if we had a couple extra hands. I mean, we had, Todd was double duty. He was parking attendant and he was running the printer. And, so he was hustling, I personally had more help than I normally have. I had several people helping me set up, and fortunately, I didn't need anybody to break down, but to get things set up, I had Mandy helping me, Terry helping me, and Debbie helped for a little bit. So that was good. I mean, they got me extension cords and helped me hooked up the cabling and to the projector and get the speaker established and everything. I got this big old PA speaker I bought, which really helps.
And Dave, this is just your will. This is how you abolish tyranny, is you provide all of this stuff with your time.
Right. My
right?
time, my money. This is, believe it or not, those donations I get when I do the public speaking, a lot of that money goes into my presentation ability. My projector, I got a special projector that only needs to be 5 foot away to cast an 8-foot image on a canvas, and I can be in relatively bright light and still show a good image on the screen. So that's the reason I bought it. And fortunately, at this point in time in history, that kind of stuff's not real expensive, because they're trying to generate dollars to support their agenda, so they keep dropping prices to get people to buy. So I picked it up for less than $200, but I mean, 5 years ago that would have been a $500 projector. I mean, it's a professional grade projector.
So I want to ask any other comments on this topic, because what Dave's doing here, it is like we're grabbing it right here at the right time. This is a good, perfect storm.
Right. And let me explain a few things. Springboard here. We're going to collapse. We're collapsing the the Board of Health in Lorain County. And we're going to collapse a secondary government, a deep state government called the District Advisory Council. Now, why are we able to do that? And the reason we're able to do that, none of them, not one of those people, have an oath of office. which means they don't have a bond, they don't have liability insurance, and so therefore they have committed treason upon the people. And when that has been identified and they are singled out individually in their personal private names, that they have committed treason upon the people, I have a feeling the majority of them are going to resign on the spot.
And so you say that Lorraine County can fill those spots. They can say, you know what, Kat is going to sit in that chair over there. And so does Kat go and as a woman who lives there at Lorraine, is she going to take an oath in front of a judge there in Lorraine County? Is she going to
She
be
can take
sworn
an
in?
oath in front of a public official that's already been sworn in. It doesn't necessarily have to be a judge. But there
Okay.
needs to be a notary to notarize the oath.
And
And with the health department, once again, we'll dissolve the corporation.
And so she's to get a bond as well. Does she need to go? So the county should have some liaison.
To do it
with
correct, to do it correctly, she would purchase a bond in her name. It's a surety bond, and I don't know what state requirement would be. The Board of Elections would be able to tell us that.
And so she's followed the constitutional requirement to have an oath and a bond.
Right.
And here she, now that she's accept this, is it a title, Dave? I mean, how do we?
Well, yeah,
define it?
she'd be the title would be that she's a member of the Board of Health.
And so would she be eligible to be an office holder in Lorraine County in their committee of safety?
No, she would have to resign her position. If she held an office, she would have to resign her office.
But if she didn't hold an office, she could continue to attend meetings, correct?
Right. No vote. No vote.
But no vote.
Yeah,
She would be a
and she can't
gallery
run for
participant
office.
in the meetings,
Right.
but she wouldn't be a voting member of the associate, the private.
Remember, when you
association.
guys become a public official, you are no longer an elector. And when you're in the assembly as a member, you're an elector. You're an official elector, not a voter. You're an elector.
Voting is for de facto, and electors. That's what we do here in the de jure.
Correct.
Thanks for going down that road with me, Dave. And in this hypothetical situation where Kat suddenly gets these big juicy paychecks now because she has a responsible position in the county, remember this treasurer, right? Ohio treasurer subject, real food dude.
Well, remember, there's 10 positions in the county health board. So that's 10 committee of safety members.
Who do you think is going to get a big job?
Hey,
And then there's three county commissioners and a county treasurer, because we're named the treasurer also.
Dave, if you miss every target you don't shoot for, and you are shooting for a target, which means there's a good chance you could hit it.
Oh, we're going to hit it. There ain't no doubt in my mind.
Yep. And like Dave said, this is going to be a shot around the world. If you knock somebody out this way, if you are successful with the power of the pen, and Dave, to get 25 affidavit, I mean, and you guys had it set up to output this part of the Bill of Rights, this part of the First Amendment is so important, the power of the pen. And Dave, we're taking technology and we're getting a group of people and like-minded, and we just right through, and it's the power of the pen right there. And then they petition.
Right.
So
not petition, affidavit.
Right. Again, it's the right. So you can
Right, the right to petition to air our grievance in peace. And we're just stating that if you don't remove yourself from office, that you will be looking at a $1.75 million lawsuit per affidavit. And we're approaching 50, we're approaching 50 affidavits right now.
Very good. Now, was it a notice of liability that you had sent? or
Yeah,
was it-
notice of liability, notice of intent.
No, okay.
So, and the reason we do that is that we're putting them on liability notice of violation of law. We're not saying, we're not making statements. We're asking, do you have a lawful oath of office? Okay. Let me share the screen with me. Allow me to use the screen.
Sure.
I'm going to show something to you guys, and I just found this out through my mentor a couple weeks ago. Do I got the screen?
You should.
Okay. This is called a Form 56, or I'm sorry, Form 61. It's called an SF Special Form 61, and it says appointment affidavits. All right, and you put in the guy's name and the date, department or agency, in his situation to be the court of law, judicial place of employment would be where he's employed at. You put his name in here. I do solemnly swear I will support, defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and alliance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter, so help me God. This is the lawful oath that all public officials must take. This form is a federal government, and then part B is this is their killer. I am not participating in any strike against the government of the United States or any agency thereof, and I do not so participate while an employee of the government of the United States or any agency thereof. Okay, why this is so effective is because they're bar members. Those that are members of the bar. Okay, because if you're a member of the bar, you're causing a strike against the government. You guys see that? You understand that? And then they
No, how are they
it.
striking against the government?
Huh?
Explain that. Put that on the tape. How are they striking against the government?
They're foreign interlopers.
That's right. They're foreign interlopers acting under the auspice of a government. And they're in direct violation because they're a foreign enemy of the United States government and that of the states. What do? Answer that question. What does the bar do?
They swear allegiance to the court. They swear allegiance to the
No, they swear allegiance to the crown.
Crown.
The crown. Okay.
Okay. And what laws are they introducing to the people of this country?
Maritime law?
Crown laws,
Yep.
king's laws.
That is all correct. Thank you, David.
They're introducing king's law into our courts, into our government, and demanding us, the people, to be subjects of the crown. You guys got to understand how evil this is. How evil this is in violation of the Declaration of Independence. And this blight needs to be removed from the face of our earth, of this country. And the sooner the majority of us begin to understand the impact of the corruption of the bar, the sooner that we're going to make major changes. Okay. Now what's significant about this is they signed this under the penalties of perjury. Now this is prima facie evidence. They're not gonna sign this document. And you enter this document as proof along with your affidavit. You know, you ask them to sign this under the penalties of perjury, and they'll refuse to sign it because they're committing a felony. But if they don't sign it, they're going to blow up. They blow up whether they do or they blow up whether they don't. Okay? Any questions?
So
What is the problem with being an attorney, an esquire? Put that on the tape, please. And being in office.
Okay, an esquire is a noble title given to them by the crown of England. Therefore, they give their allegiance to the crown and they forfeit their citizenship as an American to this country. We have Americans that have been knighted by the Queen. You understand? As soon as they get knighted, they're no longer Americans. They're no longer have the rights and privileges of this country. People don't realize that. We're not allowed to have dual citizenships. The only ones that are allowed to have dual citizenship, and that needs to be changed, are
Diplomats.
Israelis, Jews. Jews are allowed to have dual citizenship. They can have a citizenship of the United States. They can have a passport of the United States and also a passport to Israel. That's got to be changed. That's special treatment. They shouldn't have special treatment.
Well, other countries do as well, like Norway. I knew a girl that had a Norwegian and, well, she was born in Norway, but to American parents.
Michael,
Ghana's the same way.
but Michael, Chuck Schumer, dual citizen. Right? So here's a member of Congress, a member of the Senate, and he's a dual citizen.
53%, at least 53% of the Congress has dual citizenship to Israel.
Wow. Thank you for that nugget. Wow. Thank you for that nugget.
Yeah, that's a fact. And now you see why there's so much money being ostracized to Israel. They're not representing us, but you got to understand they're never going to represent us because they're a private corporation for the benefit of the international bankers.
Yep.
So to expand on what we're doing in Lorraine, once we get the all the parties, well, not all of them, I mean, some of them might decide that they want to go into court. That would be totally foolish on their part. Then we're going after the school boards. And
We had a lady there last night at the meeting, and she was telling me about Black River Schools, and she's all ready to take on Black River Schools.
right. So, and it won't be hard. We'll do the same thing to them that we're doing to the county commissioners. And I'm going to tell you something. Once we remove the county commissioners, that's the highest office in the county, and we remove them, no, there ain't nobody, when we come after them, they're going to be resigning before we even get there. We're
So how
just
do
going
we
to
do
give a
that?
rumor that we're going to show up.
How do we do that without the sheriff?
We don't need the sheriff. We don't need the permission of the sheriff.
To have them arrested?
No, we'll have them removed under
Okay, so you're
a
talking about
violation of their oath of office. If they
Okay.
want to step down, I don't have any issue with them. I'm still going to persecute them, but if I want them out of the position for now. I want to fill them. I want to fill those positions with our people,
Agreed.
and then abolish the corporation. And all those organizations are franchised, corporated with the state. And we remove that corporation, and then we go after the EPA, we go after the sheriff's office, then we go after the courts. And I got the process to remove the judges. Anybody that's got a court case in Lorain County, I'll get rid of the judge. Because they're committing tax evasion, they're committing fiduciary fraud, they're committing securities fraud, and they're committing treason, they're in violation of their oaths of office, breach of public trust. I mean, it goes on. The list is endless. These are the things we got to do. These are the things we need to get moving on as soon as possible. And we need to recruit, we need to get the word out, we need to get people involved that want to come and get involved, want to come in and become a part of this, because this is exciting. This is revolutionary.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dave. Again, everyone, thanks for your participation in this discussion here. This is again, this is the call to action that you're talking about here that I
Right.
have in old business. And so again, that video is posted everywhere. Share the video however you can, because money is a big attention getter here, everyone. With
May
that's all I had for it. Go ahead, Michael. Floor is yours.
Real quick, is there any action in this regard with the sheriffs? Because there's elections going on right now in my county where the sheriff and around me. I don't know if that,
Frame your question a little better, because
any action to call the sheriff to constitutional accountability, to expel the sheriff.
no, but we're like in Lorraine, the sheriff has an illegal oath. All we have to do is do what we're doing with the county commissioners, is give him notice that he is committing fraud upon the people. We send him an SF-61, say, we need you to fill this out and sign it under the penalties of perjury. And if you don't, you're entering into a tacit agreement of default, and we have the right to move forward and have you removed from office.
And then we use the military for that.
No, we don't need the military. We just take him into court. 100 people take him into court and sue him for $1.7 million per person.
Each.
So he's removed from his office, but the arrest will come later.
And all his deputies are removed from office too, because he swore them in. And he was holding an office. He was impersonating a public official. Therefore, their oaths have no standing.
It's interesting how they're all going to fall. It's going to be like dominoes.
So Michael, to put closure on your question here for the tape, OSJA, if this were on the horizon, OSJA counties would be encouraged to create a sheriff committee. And they'd be encouraged to get a chair into that committee, someone who fits the criteria as defined by the bylaws. And that man or woman would be responsible for candidates for sheriff, and other members of the committee would be in tune with that. They would bring that back to the Lorain County Committee of Safety and have candidate discussions with them. And this is how the people in Lorain County will elect their sheriff, through the processes of OSJA. So I just want to make sure we have this peaceful closure to what the question that you had asked.
Yeah, we would have your committees of safety would have a liaison from the committee of safety at the Board of Elections, and the Board of Elections would not be able to do anything without the approval of the committee of safety. That's how it's supposed to work. And we're getting to that point where we get to push our muscle as a deserved government, a deserved agency of the government. This is what went on 240 years ago. Nobody did anything without the approval of the Committee of Safety. So the sheriff couldn't run for sheriff until he got the okay from the Committee of Safety, that after he was vetted. And he got the stamp of approval from the Committee of Safety that he was a viable candidate under the Constitution.
My husband will hate me for saying this, but somebody should nominate him for sheriff.
Nominate who for sheriff?
He's an honest guy that has never had a ticket in his life, and stood his ground. Guy gave him a ticket because the light wouldn't turn green. It was 3 a.m, and somebody come up behind him, and the light still didn't change. And he said he'd sat there for over 3 minutes, and this light didn't change. And So he just figured it was another car coming up behind him. And he sat there for a couple minutes and he said, I finally just decided it wasn't ever going to change and went. And he said, as soon as I did, they popped on the lights and thought he was drinking and tried to haul him in on drunk. So that all went down the drain when they found out he was dating the mayor's daughter.
Well, the thing would be prove that I broke the law because I came to a complete stop. There was no traffic in any one direction. The burden of proof will be upon you.
Right.
I ran a red light,
Right.
which I did not. The burden of proof's upon you, and your oath of office and your bond is in jeopardy for perjury on the stand. Because I
Right.
will put you on the stand.
They made a few phone calls and they found out, yes, he just did get off of work. He was not at a bar. It was 2 a.m. And yes, he's leaving to go home from his job, not a bar.
One
So,
of the things I want to do when the prosperity packages come in is I want to go around to all these intersections, and at 10 o'clock at night, if they're not justified to be operational, that it goes into flashers.
yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how many freaking intersections, especially here in Lorraine, I pull up to, and I'm sitting there 5 minutes and there's not a damn car anywhere around. I'm
Right.
like, what the hell?
Dave, do you think it's an agenda to collect money?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's under the
Yeah.
guise of safety?
Yeah. First of all, okay, it's in the presentation, but first of all, why did they demand 3 years of fees up front?
There's a good question.
$120 per homeowner up front, and it has to be paid by April 1st. Okay, that's the first thing. That generates $2.6 million instantaneously. Why? Why? And then there's 22,000 septic systems. I want to know what the manpower is that's going to go out and inspect 22 systems every year. And this is an audit that needs to be conducted by the Committee of Safety to find out if they will do what they claim they're going to do. And if they don't, they need to refund all those people they don't inspect.
Well, here's what I want to know. This is my biggest complaint of the whole thing is how do you make me as a homeowner contract with a government agency which has no standing, which has people with no elected oaths of office? How do you make me contract with your by paying this $40 fee to get my septic serviced every year, which I don't do ever because it works just fine for 20 years. If there's a problem, you know it.
And
It won't
the thing is,
flush.
under what auspice was created that put me into your contract? Because I voluntarily did not comply to your to your demand of one, paying the $40, two, that you even had the authority over me to request I paid the $40.
Right, and then you're giving them blanket access to your property? No, thank you.
Yeah,
All
and
right,
then
Dave and Kat,
the
I
inspector,
want to get it back on track here.
well, one more comment.
Okay.
The inspector that comes on, if he does show up to inspect your property, what framework is he working under when he comes to inspect? Or does he have carte blanche and he can do anything and everything he wants to do, however he wants to do it, with no repercussions, no oversight, nothing?
It quite a whammy. Quite a whammy.
Right.
Again, this is a big discussion to have, and I did let it prolong a bit. I do have the agenda up, and again, Michael, thank you for your insight here. But I'd like to close old business at this time, unless someone has other old business to discuss.
May I?
Christina?
In last week's, in the minutes last week, in the agenda last week, we briefly revisited, reminded everybody that we're talking about updating, revising the bylaws for accuracy based on our current, what activity, trying to eliminate controversy, adding a code of conduct, that sort of thing. And Dave, both you and Ross had mentioned something just now about according to bylaws, you both mentioned something different that you said was in the bylaws that I'm not sure those points are even in the bylaws. So I just wanted to touch on that super quick before we're out of time, to remind everybody, and especially people who are listening after the fact. The bylaws were written, what, 4 years ago, maybe more?
No, we're not that old. We're only
Yeah,
3 years old.
the final was August of 2020.
Yeah.
So 3.5 years ago. So
But
we're
no, the
all,
bylaws didn't actually get finished up until 2021, like February and March of 2021, because I kept pushing it because we were all tied up doing bylaws every meeting forever. And I'm
right.
like, no, we got to get this done. We got to wrap this up, because they kept talking about the verbiage, and
Sure.
oh my God, it was killing
So,
me.
I mean, I don't want to go splitting hairs in this meeting. I just wanted to remind everybody that we had that topic up last week and the week before. And, if we can all glance at the bylaws, there are some pretty glaring things that, that we should update based on how we're currently doing things. And then I yield on that matter.
Okay, hey guys, I gotta grab
uh,
another Zoom, so I'm gonna
All
have
right.
to.
So very good, Dave. Thank you for your participation tonight. Truly
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
See you guys later.
With that, we're in old business, and I do put forth a motion to close old business. We're trying to wrap up here. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Second. Okay.
All right. So for the agenda, I did not have any new business. If wrong document. If there is any new business, go ahead and motion to open new business. Otherwise, I do not have any new business at this time. And silence appears to be consent. All right. Well, very good. I'll accept a motion to adjourn the meeting.
A motion that we
I'll
adjourn.
second it.
All right.
I'll
Thank you.
second it.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Joe, for your second. Christina, did you capture everything you needed to capture for
Yep.
your scribe? All right, wonderful. Everybody, the time is 7:58, and this meeting is adjourned until Tuesday, March 19th. We'll meet back on Zoom, and we'll be here at 7 o'clock. Hope to see you then, and ask people about their bills. Have a good night, everybody.